All right, welcome back to Weight Loss 101. So, today's topic, do you use a specific meal plan? Do you use a specific workout plan? I had someone use a really fantastic statement. They stated that it feels like they're shopping in a used car lot when it comes to picking out how do you lose weight, where do you start? And so that's a really awesome question. It's actually kind of the crux of why I wanted to start this, is because so many people didn't know where to start. They didn't know how to pick a plan, and how to get on the path to making this progress. So for me, I'm going to give you what worked for me at least. I did not use a specific diet plan. What I mean by that is I don't eat specific foods. I don't eat specific. I don't follow someone else's guide when it comes to what foods to eat every single day. Let's break this down really simple. Your body needs proteins, fats, and carbs. Those are the building blocks to be successful when it comes to any level of fitness, but also just in your day-to-day energy levels and hormone balances, ability to recover from the work that you're putting out every day. And so we're going to start with protein. Your body needs 1 gram of protein roughly per pound of lean body mass. So a lot of individuals want to start, and I'm not going to tell you where to start as far as your total protein that you need to take in, but just understand you want about 1 pound or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I have kept my fats relatively low and then utilized carbs to kind of manage the amount of calories that I need. So last episode we talked about figuring out what your maintenance is and then building a deficit or a surplus based on what your maintenance is. Today we're going to talk about how to actually decide how to balance what those calories actually look like. So for starters, we want 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I typically recommend anywhere between like 50 to 60 grams of fat or 40 to 50 grams of fat. Again, kind of depends on your overall body weight, but again, that's a really healthy number to stay at. Anything lower than about 40 grams of fats in a day can actually start to cause some hormonal imbalance and challenges there. So we don't want to go too low on the fats, but because each gram of fat has 9 calories in it, they're very calorically dense, and that's one of the reasons why it's really easy to have too many calories when we increase the fats in our diet. Protein and carbs both have roughly 4 grams or 4 calories per 1 gram of protein or 1 gram of carbs. And so for me, I'm going to give you the math real quick for myself. I eat about 200 grams of protein per day, 200 to 220 grams of protein per day. For this, we're going to keep it super simple so that I don't have to do a whole bunch of math in my head. So we're going to do 200 grams of protein per day. I do 40 grams of fats. So 200 grams of protein ends up being your 800 calories. 40 grams of fat, so 40 times 9, ends up being 360 calories. So now we're up to 1160 calories. And then my balance, so right now I'm eating roughly 1800 calories per day. That's because I'm prepping for a bodybuilding show and I'm trying to get as lean as I can before going into this show. And so I want the remainder of my calories, so that 1160 calories that I'm working with from my proteins and my fats, the remainder to be equal up to that 1800 calories is done with a balance of carbs. Now, if I want to increase the number of calories that I'm taking in, I'm going to increase my carbs. If I want to decrease the number of calories I'm taking in, I want to decrease my carbs. Now, what that allows me to do is eat anything that I want to eat. I just tailor the quantities that I'm eating to hit those macros, to hit that macro plan. So that's for my calories. That's for the meal plan that I take in. And please feel free to ask any questions in the comment section. I promise I'm going to respond to them as much as I'm able to. Especially right now, early in this channel, I guarantee I'm going to respond to every comment. Hopefully this grows. Hopefully I get to hit a lot of audience and help a lot of people, in which case it may change in the future. But for now, I'm definitely going to answer all your questions. With that being said, so let's move into your workout plan. Fitness is a spectrum. Everybody is going to come at fitness with a different goal in mind. For me, my goal wasn't so much raw strength, but it was building muscle, it was building strength, it was getting back to being able to pick things up that are heavy, put them back down. That was my goal, because I knew that by getting stronger, I would help kind of bulletproof myself from injuries. Also, I wanted to focus on cardio, not fast sprinting, explosive power, but long distance, steady state cardio sustained over time. So 20-mile bike rides, 50-mile bike rides, or 10-mile runs, or doing the Stairmaster for an hour and a half. Those were my goals. So it was kind of broken up into resistance training and cardio. I recommend for everybody that you do the same. Now, as far as how you do that and what the specific workout plan that you target is, that's going to be up to what your fitness goal is. Not everybody, again, has the same. It's a spectrum. So when it comes to building a workout plan, I would love to help, and I want specific questions. Hey, these are my goals. What can I do to hit that goal? I'm going to build a video for you, and I will respond to your question in a video format. So definitely please ask that question. It's going to help me help you. It's going to help me kind of tailor these videos so that I'm hitting what people are wanting to know. But let's go into real quick resistance training. For resistance training, we want to start with, if you're brand new into the gym, you want to start with lightweight, something where the weight allows you to hit 20 to 30 reps easy. And because when you first start doing resistance training, when you're new to the gym, you're going to get response, your muscles are going to respond, you're going to get growth, you're going to increase your athleticism very quickly, very rapidly with consistent exercise in the gym. And I'm talking just 2 or 3 times, 20 to 30 minutes every week. So what I meant by that, sorry, real quick, 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes each time you go to the gym. So it doesn't have to be a huge time investment. Even if you only have 15 minutes that day, still go to the gym, do your 15 minutes. If that's all you've got, that's okay. I can definitely make some really good recommendations. You don't have to build a gym like I've built here on my property, but absolutely getting even just some light dumbbells that you can do some training at home, body weight exercises, if that's all you've got time for, they work, especially when you're new. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be super challenging where you feel like you've just completely destroyed yourself when you walk out of the gym. That's not necessary. That may be where you want to go in the future, but it does not have to be where we start. What I want to start is building that consistency, building those habits of getting to the gym every single day or every single week and hitting those targets. Now, for me, I have focused very heavily on progressive overload when it comes to my resistance training. Progressive overload is this. I start out, I am doing, for instance, dumbbell curls. I'm doing 20 pounds and I'm doing 10 reps. That's where we start. That means the next week, I'm going to do 20 pounds, and the next week, I'm going to do 20 pounds, same weight, but I'm going to try to do 11 reps. You're going to increase reps or weight every week as you're able. So if you get to a point where you're failing to hit that, that means we need to either taper off and give you a deload week and allow you to recover for a week, or it may mean that we've hit a plateau and we need to stick at that, but we need to be hitting that kind of that max effort. But it doesn't have to be super challenging. What we're trying to do is just see that growth over time. A lot of questions have been, what apps do you use? There are so many good apps out there. There's a sculptd app that's a fantastic app. I'll try to link it in the description. There is RP Hypertrophy. That's a very good progressive overload app. There are so many good apps out there. I don't want to recommend just one. Those are 2 that I've used personally. They are good, but again, if you find one that works for you, really the crux of what you're looking for is something that allows you to build out your exercise plan and to then track the data over time. Track your weights, track your reps, and then you can make those changes as you go through this, as you start either increasing difficulty or increasing reps. Again, you want to just start increasing the challenge. That's your progressive overload. Now, you can progressive overload your cardio as well. Now, that may mean you increase the resistance on your bike, or it may mean we go for more miles. But what, again, we want to see is we want to hit those targets, those little mini PRs. They don't have to be daily, they don't have to be weekly, but we want to see that improvement over time. This is for 2 reasons. One, it's to make sure that you're continuing to challenge yourself, because as you work out, as you lose weight, as your body becomes more efficient, your body starts to recover from being overweight, you're going to be able to do more things and be more capable. So we need to increase the challenge to make sure that we're still increasing our growth. And then for the second reason, we're going to document, Second thing, we need to document this to make sure that we're tracking that and we're able to see that growth, both for personal motivations, reasons, but also just again to make sure that we're challenging ourselves. When it comes to the Stairmaster, I'll give you a personal anecdote for myself. I started out 20 minutes on the Stairmaster at like a 6, and that was all I could do. Now I am putting a 35-pound weight vest on. I'm going at a difficulty of 12, and I'm doing it for an hour and a half. That was that progressive overload. Now I didn't do that in 1 week. This was over an 18-month period of time where I've lost weight, I've gained strength, I've increased my cardio capabilities, and it's been diligent. 5-6 days a week, I'm in the gym and I'm doing my resistance training and I'm doing my cardio. It did not start there. So many individuals will see the transformations online, and even my own, when I've shared it, and I shared the change from 1 year's time to the next year, and the physical, the visual look of that transformation is very impressive. But what's missed on just those photos is the year to 18 months of momentum that I built up to that change. It wasn't just I decided one day I'm going to start making a change, and 12 months later I look like I do now. It was 12 to 18 months of going to the gym and working out and learning how to do my diet and eating better and learning how to be a healthier lifestyle, and then really locking in and saying, these are what my goals are, setting a very aggressive goal for myself. I set a goal and said, I'm going to step on stage in September of 2026 and I want to get on a bodybuilding show. I went from 310 pounds, 5'8", to 190 now, and I plan on stepping on stage right around 175 to 180 pounds. And I set that goal for myself, knowing it would be a stretch goal, knowing it would be a challenge, but that's not where I started. You don't have to start there. And when you start, you don't have to have a fully formulated goal of where you want to end up on day one. It's okay to just say, I want to improve, I want to see this improvement, and then start making those changes slowly over time. That being said, that's what I've got for you today. Seek discomfort, stay blessed.